in our stone stupor out in Kentucky, middle of nowhere, we found ourselves passing by the WWE headquarters. And who happened to be sitting in the security car at the time? Well, I think you already know who, right? And so John Cena comes up.
I think at this point, you can. I think now you can just. When next time you tell this, it has to be the case that he's doing liquid play. Next time you tell this, Chris, it should be the case that somehow you could tell that it was John Cena. You saw the belts or something, and on a hunch, on a whim, you decided to play his theme song. And John's, because that's the point of the first story, is that the cop was so charmed by hearing the cop's theme song that he let you off. So this time around, you do it again, and John Cena is so charmed by hearing his own theme song that he lets you off. So let's just pretend like that's the way you set it up, and now wrap this section up and say, and so that's how me and my friend got a warning from none other than John Cena himself.
Yeah. So at this point, we're all relaxed. We're getting our licenses back. He looks at us and he says, "When you guys off for the warning." That's actually pretty nice, to be honest. Feels pretty good to get off with a warning, especially for someone like John Cena himself, a man who doesn't usually give warnings. It feels kind of special.
I know you can't believe it, but I swear to God this happened.
I know you can't believe it. Hell, you can't even see it. I swear to God, Allah, Yahweh, whatever goddamn thing you believe in. If you can't even, I swear to God this happened. And I tell you what.
And now get uncomfortably close to Letty and look in her eyes and say, "I swear to God this happened. I would never lie to you."
Absolute God. This happened. This happened, and it was very, very real. Very, very, very real.
And now you can back out and start the third segment.
Now, this is another time I got pulled over. This time was a bit weirder than the rest, to be honest, because I don't even know how we got the fuck to this place. I just remember me and my buddy had a couple of blunts rolled up. We were out in Germany, going on the back roads. Smoking a couple of dibs, you know, as any bro would do. We come down this bridge that's not mapped out. At first we didn't want to go through it. We decided, we'll go through it, see what happens. Shit you not, as we go through, things turn black and white, like a TV.
Jason can jet Ben Tax and Josie team up to make a theme song for season 2.
Anyhow.
Yes.
This guy pulls us over. It's an older car. It's one of those old 1942 BMWs. You know what I'm talking about?
It's a 1938 Daimler.
Yeah, the Daimler.
Limousine.
Yeah, it was one of those special kind of cars, but it pulls us over. Now, I'm sitting there thinking to myself, what cop in 2023 uses a 38 Daimler to pull someone over? I always see one boot stick out. I look at my friend. Mind you, we're in black and white at this point. I look at him and I go, well, shit, this ain't looking good. He goes, you know whose car that is, right? I said, no, I don't. He says, we gotta stop quick, because this ain't good. I said, what do you mean? He goes, this isn't good. You don't know where the fuck we are at that bridge. I tell you, something different.
So he says, give me the aux cable.
Anyhow,
I know what to do. So he puts.
He tells me to grab the aux cable and give it to him, because he knows exactly what he's going to do. He has kind of a plan for us.
And as this man dressed in Hugo Boss and black leather boots is walking towards us with his German Shepherd.
As this man, relatively short guy, walks up, looks a little bathed out. He's got his Hugo Boss coat on. He's got his night hat on. He walks up. He's got a German Shepherd with him. It's barking pretty hard.
And our speaker system and our stereo starts playing. And then
Our stereo starts playing.
And did you memorize any German? Did you memorize any German like fairy tale songs?
Haven't been able to find any.
Okay, just make some shit up. You know how to do fake German?
Yeah, I got it.
I got it.
Yeah. Anyhow, My friend decides to play the weirdest shit I've ever fucking heard. You just hear here's a little song like, Uns den Skilzen fasten brennen, wann wurde now, live no one never touch the bone, and one throw them to the ground. And this guy comes up. He's got a bit of a weird walk to him, obviously. Shorter guys didn't have that. But who the fuck comes up to my window? What do you think? None other than the big man himself, the ruling man of the land, Adolf motherfucking Hitler. He comes up to me and my friend, he goes, "I need passports and what I need."
Could you add more excruciating details so Fish get the joke?
Anyhow, he goes, "Hey, do you understand what Fish we're going?" We look at him, we say, "No, sir, skedaddler's out." He looks at us, says, "That's a very weird vehicle you have." And I said, "Yeah, we kind of bought this as military surplus a few years ago. Nothing crazy." He goes, "Yes, it seems very experimental." He goes, "None of you are doing that, right?" I said, "No." He goes, "No, I don't know, I believe in God." Put our hands on the Bible and everything.
Stinky letter, you poopy, stinky letter, you poopy, stinky letter, you poopy, poopy, poopy.
He says to us, "You know, I should technically kill you right now. But in my country, you're clearly not German. You're clearly not part of us. And you clearly wish to violate our laws of speech. However, that lullaby your friend played is one that my mother had sung to me when I was young. A young lad with no evil in my heart."
And then the weed cloud from the car hit Adolf Hitler, and I watched as all the evil drained out of his face. And he was just smiling and beaming like a little boy.
Anyhow, as he's talking about this, German folk song, this little lullaby his mom would sing, apparently it was something about a cow jumping over the moon and all this other shit. You start to see his face slowly turn. He goes from this angry, short guy with one testicle to a fairly calm gentleman. He looks at us by the end of it. By the time we're done talking, he goes, "That's too bad for the woman."
You gotta see the weed cloud.
We got a giant weed cloud pretty much hit.
I watched as this giant weed cloud hits him dead in the face, and I watched as all the evil drained out of his countenance. Is that countenance? Countenance. All the evil drained out of his countenance, and he was smiling and beaming like a little boy.
Yeah, I got you.
And just that, no details, just that.
Oh yeah. I open up the window, I'm playing this lullaby. This fucking huge cloud of smoke hits this guy, and at first he has this very angry, evil face on. And after a while, he explains to us that's a lullaby his mother had told him, sung him as a baby. And again, as this weed's just kind of pouring out, bellowing out like a fucking smokestack in a factory, you slowly see his demeanor change. He goes from being angry to almost looking like a kind gentleman that would give you an hors d'oeuvre off the plate. Who would give you his jacket off his back. You know what I'm saying? He kind of went from this evil dictator that we know him as to this young boy that just missed his mother. In fact, it really seemed like he missed his mother a lot. I feel like that huge cloud might have therapy for him, Because by the end of this exchange, he says, I don't know what the fuck you guys are done. Keep it up. Because I am a very happy man right now. And when I'm a very happy man, people don't need to die. And we tell him exactly how he can deal with it. You gotta look for this specific plant over in Asia. It's one they've been using for thousands of years in teas and drinks to help people out. And it will keep you on a good track. By the end of it, we decide to take off.
Mr. Goldstriker, shut this down. Chris just doesn't have its soggy slop, please.
Anyhow, we finish off, we take off, we decide we're going to go back under that bridge. Because going through it sent us back in time, going back through it sent us forward.
Dude, just listen to Goldstriker. Fuck, stop adding shit.
You're good. Keep rolling.
Anyhow, we get back in time. We start driving home.
If the audience laughs and applauds Chris, there will be an end to the horror.
Anyhow, we start driving home. We start noticing some different stuff, right?
An entire fucking hour of rambling with absolutely no punchline kill me.
Anyhow, we head home. And I shit you not, the whole neighborhood looked completely different. Houses were painted bright colors, pinks and greens and blues and reds. And we're thinking to ourselves...
And now say this. Now I know you guys aren't going to understand or believe any of this.
I know you guys won't understand or believe any of this.
Hold up, now just say exactly what I'm saying. But I'm actually from an alternate timeline, and now get close to Vance on it. And hold
Bruno
on.
brushes off these TTS messages like he doesn't die.
Okay, come over to Vance.
Anyhow, I know this is pretty hard to believe.
But I come from an alternate
I come from a
timeline
very different timeline from this one.
where 70 or 80 years ago,
maybe even 80 years ago,
there was a horrible...
people were killed. A thing called the Holocaust.
Now, I know you guys have never heard of
I know
this.
you've never heard of it. I know you've never been taught about this. But I shit you not. There was a time when the very happy man you guys know was once a very angry short man.
Where the happy German man that all Americans know and love, Adolf Hitler.
Yeah.
Say that.
Now, in place of...
Just say exactly what I said.
Anyhow, Johnson.
Get close to Vance. Just say exactly what I say, okay?
In place of the very happy German man you guys have in the world today.
Who everyone loves.
A world that everyone loves.
Adolf Hitler.
150-ish-year-old man who everyone still loves to this day. And still.
There's an alternate timeline.
There's an alternate timeline.
Where he's the greatest murderer.
Was the greatest murderer of all time. And he's not even alive anymore. He no longer leads any country because he's dead.
And you're not even going to believe me because you're not fucking high enough.
You're never going to believe me because you ain't high enough. You ain't hit that chronic like I do.
And that's the 100% true story of how my friend and I...
That is the 100% true story of how me and my friend
saved millions.
In Germany, met Adolf Hitler and saved millions upon millions of souls. Souls that may be your grandparents, your grandmother, or even your father.
That's good right there. That's the end.
Hell yeah.
Okay. All right. What do people? Let's go. What do you think, Vance? What's your feedback on that?
I thought the last joke, the Hitler joke thing, was actually pretty good. You know, it's getting somewhere.
By the way, Chris, this takes like years to get good at.
Yeah, I'm not expecting to get good.
Don't sweat it. Don't sweat it, man. You're for doing it your first time. This is very good. So don't sweat it. Vance, you have any, what can you tell him to not do next time? What are your notes here?
Holy shit, you morons. Just clap and laugh, tough crowd. Vance clap, laugh now.
Vance, tell him what he could do better.
Yeah, I think you could get a little bit more in my face, to be honest.
You can fuck with the crowd more.
So you're talking more like a Chris Farley. I'm in a band! Get by the river!
Yeah, not necessarily yelling, but just sort of pushing that uncomfortableness.
Yeah.
And maintaining eye contact when you're in there.
And if I look away, don't let me, basically.
Yeah, you can even touch his face and take his chin and go like this and turn it back to looking at you. That type of shit would be funny. Just make sure you're super confident, you're in control for that part. I think there's the unnecessary details. That's a problem. That's something where you need to go take your notebook and work through this routine a few times and just really visualize which details are necessary and which are not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of like if you're engineering a race car, to give you an analogy that you will not care about. You're add the phrase adding lightness, the term adding lightness, the phrase adding lightness, right? Adding lightness. That means you're taking away as much as you possibly can until it stops working. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So,
Chris, tell them the Norm Macdonald joke about the moth and the podiatrist.
so you're like trying to remove. Imagine trying to remove as much from the story as possible until it stops working, and then bring it right back to the point where it was just about to stop working. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And you don't have to do that for everything that you tell, but that's like your starting point. Your baseline should be the skeleton, the minimal skeleton, and then from there on out, you can, as you get better and you get more comfortable, you can add stuff that you think is funny, but you don't have to. You don't start by throwing a kitchen sink at it. Josie, you got any notes here?
I like the Adolf Hitler point. Was there supposed to be punchlines after each of the car stories, or were they all just leading up to that point?
So the punchline with this, the idea here is that the first story is just a stupid stoner story about getting off a ticket, right? Mm-hmm. And I think, Chris, one thing that you really do well is your level of enthusiasm with stupid shit. I don't mean that like you're stupid or your ideas are stupid, but like getting enthusiastic about mayonnaise. That's like a special. Like there's something funny there. There's something funny that you can use there. That's like your sort of your bread and butter right now. It's like getting those Subway pizzas were good or whatever. Yeah. That's a thing. That's an effective thing. That's something you should keep. So the first story is a stoner story where you're like, and boy, wouldn't you believe it? We got off with a warning, and that's just dumb. It's just dumb. And then the joke becomes you go into John Cena, and now it's like even more retarded. And then the finale is you take this subject that is to most people abhorrent, and you're like trivializing it by saying that you averted the Holocaust with the stupid stoner shit.
Yeah.
And that's what I think is funny about this. Sylvia, you got any notes over there, Chief?
Basically, just simplify it. You went on for a little too long.
Yeah.
And that's going to lose the audience. So basically what Jason said, just simplify it. Because I don't know how long I've been sitting here. I feel like I've been sitting here for 2 hours.
Yeah. And the another thing, Chris, is you get like as you're telling the story, you kind of tend to go off on. I mean, this is not necessarily a repetitive critique. The tangents you go off on, you're kind of selling it to us, like you're making us believe that the tangents are going to be important, and then they end up not being important. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's kind of like blue balls.
It's blue. That's exactly what it is. Blue balls. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so you're teasing us with this thing that we think is going to have a payoff, and it unintentionally doesn't have a payoff. That's okay. That's because you just started. Letty, you got any?
Like Jason said, make it more concise because any piece of writing benefits from that. Making it concise, making sure to include only the most important parts. Make sure everything you say has a point to it, and that point is to lead the joke further along, so the tangents are unnecessary. And also make sure like you emphasize the joke, because when you're talking about that thing where like you're supposed to say like, oh, the weed cloud hit Hitler in the face and then all the evil was drained out of him and he became a good man or whatever, you kind of started saying like, oh, he was thinking about his mother in the lullaby, and that's not like conducive to the joke.
Yeah, when you get to the kernel that you need to grasp, you kind of dance around it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
These are all sort of reiterations of the same thing. I'm going to tell you this: compared to anybody else who has not done stand-up, who's done it for 2 or 3 times, you are great. That's a real thing. Anybody else, the first 10 times that someone does stand-up, it's the most horrifying shit, like the most unbelievable shit. So I think my idea here is to do this as an experiment where the rest of the time you're doing this to trial it and see if you like it. I'm going to tell you that for starting out, you're doing great. So don't be ashamed or worried at all. Just just keep trying because it's promising. It's very promising.
Appreciate that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you want to keep doing this, I think you should. I still think you should. I think this is very good.
So yeah, I think I'm gonna take tonight to work on some of this stuff.
I
for
think
sure.
work on some new shit tonight,
Hell yeah.
and we'll just hit it again tomorrow. Just do it,
All right, Lou.
fuck 'em. But well done. Everybody else do a round of applause.
So how's everyone feeling right now?
Ready for some more stand-up.
We'll be seeing more tomorrow.
The pile of trash in the background is more interesting than this entire bit.